heavy. Traffic's orbiting north of the field at 3,500 feet. Maintain 3,000. Runway 4 right. Cleared for takeoff.
Okay, 3, cleared for takeoff. Look for it. What are the winds?
Wind 330 at Niner.
Today, the president is visiting his second Florida elementary school in as many days to stress the importance of literacy programs. He's calling on Congress to finish work on his education plan.
United 175 Heavy, runway 9er, cleared for takeoff. Traffic's holding a position on 4 right.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 9er, United 175 Heavy.
Smoking is only permitted in the specified smoking areas. Thank you.
Number 3 in the back, the cockpit's not answering. Somebody's stabbed in business class. And I think there's mates that we can't breathe. I don't know. I think we're getting hijacked. Which flight are you on? Flight 12.
American 77, your departure frequency will be 125.05. Runway 30, clear for takeoff.
555, clear for takeoff. Runway 30, American 77.
Permitted in the specified smoking areas. Thank you.
Is that American 11 trying to call?
Buddy, we have some planes. Just stay quiet and you'll be okay. We're heading to the airport.
And who's trying to call me here? American 11, are you trying to call?
Nobody move. Everything will be okay. If you try to make any move, you'll injure yourself and the airplane. Just stay quiet. Nobody move, please. We're going back to the airport. Don't try to make any stupid moves.
Okay, United 175, you have him at 12 o'clock now, 10 miles.
Affirmative. We have him. He looks about 20, about 29, 28,000.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Boston Center, Team U. We have a problem here. We have a hijacked aircraft headed towards New York, and we need you guys to, we need someone to scramble some F-16s or something up there to help us out.
Is this real world or exercise?
No, this is not an exercise manifest.
Okay, hey, hold on 1 second, okay?
Yep.
New York, United 175, heavy.
United 175, go ahead.
We figured we wait to go to your center. We heard a suspicious transmission on our departure out of Boston with someone, sounded like someone keyed the mic and said, everyone stay in your seats.
Oh, okay.
Kingston 93 line.
Go ahead.
United 175 just came on my frequency, and he said that they heard a suspicious transmission when they were leaving Boston.
Oh, yeah?
Everybody stay in their seat. That's what they heard as a suspicious transmission. Just to let you know. And that U.S. Air 583 thought the American he spotted him was at 29.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thanks a lot.
Just to let you know, 55, I don't really want to talk to you right now. This guy will...
United 93, wind 3307, runway 4 left, clear for takeoff.
Clear takeoff 4 left, United 93.
Please do not smoke in the terminal building. Smoking is open.
We just had a plane crash into Level 4 of the World Trade Center, transmit a second alarm, and start relocating companies into the area.
Italian 1 Manhattan. We have a number of floors on fire. It looked like the plane was aiming towards the building. Transmit a third alarm. We'll have the staging area at Bessie and West Street.
Would you like to lower your monthly mortgage payments or use the equity in your home to consolidate your credit card or other debts? Just log on.
Yeah. This just in, you are looking at obviously a very disturbing live shot there. That is the World Trade Center, and we have unconfirmed reports this morning that a plane has crashed into one of the towers of the World Trade Center. CNN Center right now is just beginning to work on this story, obviously calling our sources and trying to figure out exactly what happened, but clearly something relatively devastating happening this morning there on the south end of the island of Manhattan. That is, once again, a picture of one of the towers of the World Trade Center.
Ever created, ever.
Okay, I have got to interrupt you right now.
Sorry.
Richard Hack, thank you very much. We appreciate the book is called Hughes. We want to go live right now and show you a picture of the World Trade Center where I understand, do we have it? No, we do not. We have a breaking story, though. We're going to come back with that in just a moment. First, this is Today on NBC.
We want to tell you what we know as we know it. We just got a report in that there's been some sort of explosion at the World Trade Center in New York City. One report said, and we can't confirm any of this, that a plane may have hit one of the two towers of the World Trade Center. But again, you're seeing the live pictures here. We have no further details than that. We don't know anything about what they have concluded happened there this morning, but we're going to find out and, of course, make sure that everybody knows on the air.
These are, of course, the two twin Trade Center buildings that are down at the foot of Manhattan, that they really are the beacons of New York. It was there that there was the explosion a couple of years ago brought about by terrorists. That's all gone through the courts, but this we don't know anything about. We don't know about anything that has happened here other than the fact that there's obviously been a major incident there, and we're going to go to a special report now from ABC News.
This is an ABC News special report.
It's 8:52 here in New York. I'm Bryant Gumbel. We understand that there has been a plane crash on the southern tip of Manhattan. You're looking at the World Trade Center. We understand that a plane has crashed into the World Trade Center. We don't know anything more than that. We don't know if it was a commercial aircraft. We don't know if it was a private aircraft. We have no idea how many were on board or what the extent of the injuries are right now.
Some very, very sketchy details reaching us here at Sky Centre. Important enough to bring to you, though, at this early stage. We believe that a plane has crashed into the World Trade Center in New York. That happened within the last few moments. No details at this stage as to what sort of plane it is. It could well be a large plane. We are hearing reports of a 737, not yet confirmed yet, although it is a jet. More as we have it.
Welcome back to Fox News. We have a very tragic alert for you right now. An incredible plane crash into the World Trade Center here at the lower tip of Manhattan.
It's believed the 737 has crashed into this speculation at this point, but
as Matt just mentioned, we have a breaking news story to tell you about. Apparently, a plane has just crashed into the World Trade Center here in New York City. It happened just a few moments ago, apparently. We have very little information available at this point in time.
Well, now you're watching BBC News 24. It's our business coverage, of course, and we have some remarkable pictures coming in from New York, which we can go to now, and they show us that one of the world's tallest buildings, right in the heart of the business district of Manhattan, the World Trade Center, appears to be on fire. As you can see, something has clearly happened towards the top of the building, and these are very dramatic live pictures coming into the BBC right now. The World Trade Center exists at the very lower tip of Manhattan Island, and 5 or 6 years ago it was the subject of, I think, the first Middle East terror outrage in the United States, for which there were later court convictions. But clearly all we could do for the time being is look at these pictures and just wonder what on earth has happened there. Not only is this one of the world's tallest buildings, it's also a major landmark in this major city.
On an airplane that's been hijacked, and things don't go well. I'm looking good. I just want you to know I absolutely love you. I want you to be good. So happy to do it. Same to my parents and everybody. And I just totally love you, and I hope you're waiting together. Hi, babe. I'll call you.
As we come on air, we have serious news of a major possible air crash in the United States. A plane appears to have crashed into one of New York's tallest buildings, the World Trade Center. As you can see, those are pictures of smoke pouring out of a gaping hole in the upper floors of the World Trade Center. It is in the downtown area of Manhattan and is one of the most heavily populated office buildings in New York.
Check with your noms. Do you know if anyone down there has done any coordination to scramble fighter type airplanes?
Is there big airplanes in the area?
No, we have several situations going on here. It's escalating big time. And we need to get the military involved with this.
Wow, what's going on?
Just get me somebody who has the authority to get military in the air now.
All right, I'll go tell them.
It does not appear that there's any kind of an effort up there yet. Now remember, oh my God.
Oh my God.
That looks like a second plane.
I did not see a plane go in. That just exploded.
We just saw another plane coming in from the side.
You did. I did. That was out of
Yes, and that's the second explosion. You could see the plane come in just from the right-hand side of the screen. So this looks like it is some sort of a concerted effort to attack the World Trade Center that is underway in downtown New York.
On page 153.
ABC's Peter Jennings is at the anchor desk uptown here in New York and is now in position. Peter, I suspect you are looking at exactly the same pictures. Well, I know you're looking at the same pictures we are.
We are, Charlie. We've been watching it from the beginning, and we'll be watching this for much of the day. There is chaos in New York at the moment. There have been not one but two incidents, as Charlie and Diane have so ably reported so far. The second one coming at 9:03.
Unconfirmed, but we are getting information from an employee of United Airlines, and again, we want to emphasize this is unconfirmed, but there is speculation that an American Airlines plane was hijacked and crashed on purpose into the World Trade Center, and that the second plane was another plane, perhaps hijacked, was then flown in to the second tower.
The intelligence community for some time has been warning in a steady drumbeat, Bryant, that Osama bin Laden has not been heard from now, frankly, since the beginning of the year, the USS Cole incident, rather, and they've been wondering when and if he will strike again, and they only believed it was a matter of time. And I believe that today that is going to be their first suspicion, but we have no confirmation of that. I must underline, there's no confirmation that this is a terrorist attack, number one, or number two, that it's Osama bin Laden involvement. But I can tell you right now, that is what they are thinking, that is the working premise, and we'll just have to see as the day unfolds what they discover.
And we're just now getting word again from the Associated Press now saying that the crash of these two aircraft into the towers of the World Trade Center in New York appear to be an act of terrorism. This, they are quoting a U.S. official. They did not say which department of this
United 93, that traffic for you is 1 o'clock, 12 miles eastbound 370.
Negative contact, we're looking United 93.
Somebody call Cleveland?
Roger, American 1060, we're 370, we're slowing due to the delays possible going eastbound.
That's American 1060.
You got United 93?
United 93.
South of Chardonnay,
yeah.
has descended.
What's that?
I just saying, it looked like he descended
I
there.
don't think so. United 93, verified 350.
United 93, Cleveland.
Go ahead, Frankie.
Do you have United 93 south of Chardonnay?
We hear some funny noises. We're trying to get him. Do you have him?
No.
Thank you.
United 93, Cleveland.
United 1523, did you hear your company, did you hear some interference on the frequency here a couple of minutes ago, screaming?
Yes, I did, 797, and we couldn't tell what it was either.
Okay. United 93, Cleveland, if you hear the center right then.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a difficult moment for America. I, unfortunately, will be going back to Washington after my remarks. Secretary Rod Pace and Lieutenant Governor will take the podium to discuss education. I do want to thank the folks here at Booker Elementary School for their hospitality. Today, we've had a national tragedy. 2 airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country. I have spoken to the Vice President, to the Governor of New York, to the Director of the FBI, and have ordered that the full resources of the federal government go to help the victims and their families and to conduct a full-scale investigation to hunt down and to find those folks who committed this act. Terrorism against our nation will not stand. And now, if you join me in a moment of silence. and God bless the victims, their families, and our lost. Thank you very much.
That was President Bush saying that the explosions that have wrecked the World Trade Center buildings from, we think, 2 hijacked planes are terrorist related.
Well, we understand that both planes have been hijacked in Boston. That's what New York television is quoting the police as saying, that both these passenger planes, a twin-engine plane which crashed into the North Tower shortly before 2 o'clock our time, and a second passenger plane which crashed into the South Tower shortly after 2, we understand from police sources in New York that both of these passenger planes were hijacked from Boston, flew from Boston onto New York, and then crashed into these towers.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we're just trying to figure out what's going on.
They got them please sit down. Keep remaining sitting. We have a ball aboard. So it's calling Cleveland Center, you're unreadable. Say again slowly. Sir, did you hear the transmission where the airplane that said he had a bomb on board?
Our question here is, our aircraft that we have has climbed, turned, and is not talking to us. So do we want to scramble? We got a couple local military here.
Okay, that's a decision that has to be made at a different level.
All right, is someone talking about it at least?
What's the call sign again?
It's United 93. He's right over Cleveland.
Over Cleveland now?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll call you right back.
Delta 1989, that traffic cruise at 11 o'clock and 15 miles southbound, 41 climbing. Looks like he's turning east by heading 360. Hi, here's the captain. I would like to order to remain seated. There's one aboard and going to back to the airport and we have our demand, so please remain quiet. Okay, it's United 93 calling. United 93, understand, have a bomb on board. Go ahead.
Katie, I don't want to alarm anybody right now, but apparently it felt just a few moments ago like there was an explosion of some kind here at the Pentagon. We're on the E-ring of the Pentagon. We have a window that faces out toward the Potomac, toward the Kennedy Center. We haven't been able to see or hear anything after the initial blast. I just stepped out in the hallway. Security guards were herding people out of the building, and I saw just a moment ago as I looked outside, a number of construction workers who have been working here have taken flight. They're running as far away from the building as they can right now.
and I'm looking at a report here from Reuters that a Palestinian group has claimed responsibility. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We're looking at a live picture from Washington, and there is smoke pouring out of the Pentagon. It would appear that there has been another major explosion, this one in the nation's capital. You are looking at a scene of apparent blast aftermath. There is smoke in the air over the Pentagon.
Now we understand that there is an explosion, there has been an explosion in the Pentagon, the heart of the military command center of the United States of America, John.
We now have a report that fire has been confirmed at the Pentagon. ABC's John McWethy, our Pentagon correspondent, who's been plugging in as quickly to the intelligence and counterintelligence units there this morning, has been temporarily evacuated. But that is as much as we know for sure at the moment.
Symbols of U.S. power, the U.S. government.
Stephen, Stephen, can I interrupt you, because we've just had it confirmed that the pictures that we are now seeing are of smoke billowing out of the Pentagon. The Pentagon has now, of course, been evacuated. We had reports through the FBI that a third plane had been hijacked. So we know that two crashed into the towers of the World Trade Center in New York. A third plane had been hijacked. We don't yet know for certain where that plane went.
Baby, you have to listen to me carefully. I'm on a plane that's been hijacked. I'm on the plane. I'm calling from the plane. I want to tell you I love you. Please tell my children that I love them very much. And I'm so sorry, babe. I don't know what to say. There's three guys. They hijacked the plane. I'm trying to be calm. We're turned around, and I've heard that there's planes that's been flown into the World Trade Center. I hope to be able to see your face again, baby. I love you. Bye.
All right, they're pulling Jeff away to go talk about United 93.
Do we want to think about scrambling aircraft?
Oh, God, I don't know.
That's a decision somebody's going to have to make probably in the next 10 minutes.
Everybody just don't worry.
To an administration official shortly after the president delivered his statement, who said obviously the operating assumption here is terrorism. The initial assumption, this official said, was that this had something to do, or at least they were looking into any possible connections with Osama bin Laden. The administration recently released a warning that they thought Osama bin Laden might strike out against U.S. targets.
And that's a very haunting description that Bob Kerr just gave of that low-flying aircraft near the White House, and one can only wonder if that was something that ultimately ended up in the Pentagon.
We just saw a live picture of what seemed to be a portion of the building falling away from the World Trade Center. If we can re-rack that to about 20 seconds ago, you'll see something dramatic happening. And I don't know whether it's another explosion or a portion of the building falling away, but something major just happened at that building.
And we're now getting pictures. These are live pictures that you're seeing of a third building in Manhattan now collapsing, it appears, after being hit as well. That's a third explosion in Manhattan. These are quite extraordinary scenes.
Man post Tower 1 to all units. Evacuate the building. Man post to all units.
Okay, we seem to be having trouble with ABC's coverage. Just to update you there, that latest picture that we've seen is one of the World Trade Center towers collapsing. These are truly extraordinary and horrific scenes. Both of the towers hit approximately 1 hour ago by light aircraft in what is presumed to be terrorist incidents. Both of the planes had been hijacked. We've seen a third explosion in Manhattan, and we've seen an explosion at the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. And within the last few seconds, the United Nations headquarters has been evacuated, and one of the World Trade Center towers has collapsed.
There is now on the United 93. Yes. There is a report of black smoke in the last position I gave you, 15 miles south of Johnstown.
From the airplane or from the ground?
They're speculating it's from the aircraft. It hit the ground. That's okay. That's what they're speculating. That's speculation only.
Bill, Congress. As Bill has just informed you, there have been the most terrible, shocking events taking place in the United States of America within the last hour or so, including 2 hijacked planes being flown deliberately into the World Trade Center. I'm afraid we can only imagine the terror and the carnage there, and the many, many innocent people that will have lost their lives. I know that you would want to join with me in sending the deepest condolences to President Bush and to the American people on behalf of the British people at these terrible events. This mass terrorism is the new evil in our world today. It is perpetrated by fanatics who are utterly indifferent to the sanctity of human life. And we, the democracies of this world, are going to have to come together to fight it together and eradicate this evil completely from our world. Delegates, I hope you will understand that I don't believe it would be appropriate to carry on the speech that I was going to give to you today. I know I have issued copies of the speech. We will make sure that all delegates get copies of the speech. But I think it inappropriate to give that speech now here. I will obviously want to carry on the discussions that we've had about the issues that concern us. I will now return to London. And once again, I thank you for your indulgence here. I'm very, very sorry it has turned out the way that it has. But I know that, as I say, you would want to join with me in offering our deepest sympathy to the American people and our absolute shock and outrage at what has happened.
Excuse me, Cheryl, just a moment. We're just getting a report from the Associated Press that a car bomb has exploded outside the State Department. We are just hearing this from the Associated Press, a car bomb exploding outside the State Department here in Washington. We have no details of that.
In Washington, there is a large fire at the Pentagon. The Pentagon has been evacuated. And there, as you can see, perhaps the second tower, the front tower, the top portion of which is collapsing. Good Lord. There are no words. All federal office buildings in Washington, D.C. Are being evacuated as we speak to you now. There are a variety of reports, and it's important to try and
This is BBC One. Now the BBC News with Hugh Edwards. It's 6 o'clock.
America is pounded in the world's biggest terrorist attack. Thousands are feared dead after New York and Washington have been hit. Hijacked planes crash into and destroy the towers of the World Trade Center. The Pentagon is another target. The White House has now been evacuated. Nationwide panic as Americans try to understand the scale of today's events.
Freedom itself was attacked this morning by a faceless coward. And freedom will be defended. I want to reassure the American people that the full resources.
Do we know the number of casualties at this point, sir?
I don't think we really want to speculate about that. The number of casualties will be more than any of us can bear ultimately. And I don't think we want to speculate on the number of casualties. The effort now has to be to save as many people as possible. And I don't think we will know the answer to that until sometime tomorrow or the next day.
Now on BBC One, the news with Peter Sissons. It's 10 o'clock.
Terrorists attack the heart of America with catastrophic loss of life. Hijacked planes smash into and destroy New York's tallest buildings. Both towers of the World Trade Center collapse with thousands trapped. Another plane explodes on the Pentagon, mocking America's defensive might. In the streets, panic and the certainty that casualties are horrendous. Tonight, Britain imposes drastic security measures as Blair condemns the terrorist barbarism.
Some late developments. As you see at the bottom of your screen, there are reports from CNN's Nick Robertson in Kabul, Afghanistan, of explosions there. I want to get some additional information now. CNN's Aaron Brown from his rooftop vantage point in New York. Oh, and actually, this is Nick Robertson now in Kabul. Nick, what can you tell us out there?
Well, Joey, it's about 2:30 in the morning here in Kabul. We can hear explosions around the perimeter of the city. We're in a position here which gives us a view over the whole city. We just heard an impact perhaps a few miles away. If I listen, you can hear the ripple of explosions around the city. Perhaps we've heard there the sixth explosion. I see gunbursts and starbursts in the air. Tracer fire is coming up out of the city. I hear aircraft flying above the city of Kabul. Perhaps we've heard half a dozen to 10 detonations on the perimeter of the city, some coming from the area close to the airport. I see on the horizon what could be a fire.
Good evening. Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack in a series of deliberate and deadly terrorist acts. The victims were in airplanes or in their offices, secretaries, businessmen and women, military and federal workers, moms and dads, friends and neighbors. Terrorist attacks can shake the foundations of our biggest buildings, but they cannot touch the foundation of America. These acts shattered steel, but they cannot dent the steel of American resolve. The search is underway for those who are behind these evil acts. I've directed the full resources of our intelligence and law enforcement communities to find those responsible and to bring them to justice. We will make no distinction between the terrorists who committed these acts and those who harbored them. None of us will ever forget this day, yet we go forward to defend freedom and all that is good and just in our world. Thank you. Good night, and God bless America.